My name is Nassim Saabs.
And so you're not going to ever get to the truth. You're not going to ever get to the bottom of anything participating in the UFO community. It is a dead end. It is a endless chicken race. Okay, it is an endless loop of never really getting anywhere. Continually over and over and over and over. Okay, and it's also a scam. Okay, it is a scam. Okay, it's a con. Okay, to get you to continually buy their books, continually buy their conference tickets to hear them talk about no solutions. So, MUFON, okay, one of the premier UFO organizations, okay, is not going to talk about this because the problem will then be solved. Okay, so MUFON is there, as well as all these other organizations that aren't talking about how satanic and demonic it all is. These organizations are controlled by Satan to lead people astray from the reality of the situation and to try to take God out of it, and to try to never talk about God, and to try to never talk about the connections between things. They don't want people to actually critically think and really think about how evil it all is.
Truth.
The US government is ready to officially acknowledge UFOs now. It wasn't always the case. Here's a sample of presidents, past and present, being rather coy, to say the least.
The truth is that when I came into office, I asked, right? I was like, all right, is there the lab somewhere where we're keeping the alien specimens in spaceship? They did a little bit of research, and the answer was no.
We made every attempt to find out everything about Roswell. And we also sent people to Area 51 to make sure there were no aliens.
President Clinton told me that if he had seen evidence, he would tell everyone that he'd seen it. Do you feel the same way?
No.
No, you wouldn't. You don't think we can handle it?
No, I'm afraid it might spin you into orbit.
Okay.
I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
There are things flying around up there that we haven't fully identified yet.
Pilots have come in and they said, and these are pilots that are not pilots that are into that particular world, but we have had people saying that they've seen things.
Did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in and he did check and there was nothing.
Well, that's what we're instructed to say.
President Obama says that there is footage and records of objects in the skies, these unidentified aerial phenomenon, and he says we don't know exactly what they are. What do you think that it is?
I would ask him again. Thank you.
Stephen, we just heard from a selection of the presidents there. Why do you think they're so reticent on this subject, and do you think they'll ever change?
Absolutely. Let me be very clear. Every single president since Truman has known there's an extraterrestrial presence engaging us. They know that because of Roswell. Roswell is a crash vehicle. We obtained bodies, dead, and one living. So we've always known. The policy, the national security policy, which was cemented in the Robertson panel in '53, is that this will be embargoed from the American people for national security reasons.
So, with alien abductions, something that is almost never stated in the mainstream UFOlogy community, industry, conferences, books, TV shows, movies, music, other podcasts, radio shows, etc. What's never really said, almost never, is bringing God into it. And there's always this very drastic and very harsh separation, distinction between God and alien abductions, what's known as alien abductions. And there's a very specific reason for that, and I want to get into it right now. So the reason for it is actually very, very sinister, and it's very simple at the same time. The reason is because aliens are actually not really alien at all, whatsoever, in any way. Aliens are actually either fallen angels from heaven or hybridized terrestrial beings created by fallen angels using DNA from animals and people with genetic modifications. So the hybrids actually come from here, born here in this reality. That's it. That's it. That is literally, boom, the mystery solved. The mystery solved. Wow.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I can't prove otherwise.
Why would we be alone?
Yes.
That's it. Why would we be alone?
Do you think governments might hide from their populations that aliens and UFOs exist?
Yeah.
And if so, why?
Because I don't think the public would know how to take it. But if it was me, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing a green thing. Why not?
Area 51. They've been talking about that since I was a boy. You know, Area 51. And you think all this time, all these UFOs, all this stuff, not a scrap, not a pinpoint of any kind of alien material, nothing. I'd love it to be UFOs. I'd give somebody my cat and go with them.
But the thing is, though, is fear, pride, vanity, ego, hatred of God, disbelief and unbelief, and the various evil spirits that control those emotions, that inflict those feelings upon mankind, are the driving force behind people in the UFO community, UFOlogy industry, that run the conference circuit. Those things are the driving force behind them not realizing the truth of the matter, the truth of the situation, the actual literal truth of the situation. Okay? And it's a psyop, okay? It's a psychological operation run by the devil. Okay? It's a military mind control operation run by governments. Okay? And run by the devils that control the governments. Okay? They can't have people actually coming to the realization of the truth. Okay? And it's been infiltrated with these mind control people for years now.
Okay, you'll learn about all the Greek mythology, you'll learn about Roman mythology, you learn about Egyptian mythology, okay, you learn about all the ancient spirituality, you learn about all this, the ancient spiritual belief systems, right? But how come they don't want you to know anything about Jesus? How come they don't want you to know anything about Jesus? The worst thing that they hate for anyone to do is to start asking questions like this, because it always leads to the same thing. It leads to the same place. It leads to you knowing who God is, who your enemy is, and they can't have you know that. Okay? They can't have you know that.
The entire American public has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well,
non-human?
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
It's called seeding the consciousness, okay? Seeding the consciousness. It is a form of propaganda. Propaganda is a military warfare tactic, also known as intelligence warfare, okay? It is a war against your knowledge, okay? It's a war against your spirit, your soul, your will, your mind, and your emotions. That's what propaganda is. It is satanic because it is meant to dominate you. And who is the one that wants to dominate you in order to control you, in order to kill you and murder you? Well, that would be the devil, of course.
Okay, you become dangerous. How do you become dangerous? Because you're no longer mind controlled. You're no longer hypnotizable. You're no longer going to follow along with the program. You're no longer going to believe all of the propaganda and all of the lies, and you're no longer going to get so easily tricked about it. That's why. That's what it is. New World Order means no Jesus, no God, only the devil. Okay?
A US military whistleblower has said that the US government has in its possession alien spacecraft and bodies of the alien pilots. What do you make of that whistleblower's claims?
I think you'll have to have physical evidence to support it. And then I can believe it.
I find it a bit hard to believe, to be honest with you. I think it's all a bit far-fetched, but I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I can't prove otherwise.
Why would we be alone?
Yes.
That's it. Why would we be alone?
Do you think governments might hide from their populations that aliens and UFOs exist?
Yeah.
And if so, why?
Because I don't think the public would know how to take it. But if it was me, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing a green thing. Why not?
Area 51. They've been talking about that since I was a boy, you know, Area 51. And you think all this time, all these UFOs, all this stuff, not a scrap, not a pinpoint of any kind of alien material, nothing. I'd love it to be UFOs. I'd give somebody my cat and go with them.
And the New World Order is the rejection of everything that is the real God. Okay? Everything that's the real God. And if they can't make you reject Jesus, then they'll try and trick you about what Jesus is about by creating a whole bunch of fake Jesuses that are not real. Okay? If they can't get you to reject it, then they'll try and trick you with controlled opposition Jesus. Okay? Who is controlled opposition Jesus? That's the devil, pretending to be him. In what way? Where is the pretend? Controlled opposition Jesus will go along with everything that the New World Order is about, fully, completely, without offering any resistance whatsoever. And if resistance is offered, it is a fake resistance that isn't a real resistance. That's what's happening.